Hello everybody and welcome back to Voxel Tycoon. As always, I am Dor, and today we're going to go ahead and purchase a new area, right? I believe it's this one up here. This one gives us copper, so let's go ahead and do that for 2 million. Okay, and with that purchase, now we have access to copper. I believe that's the last raw resource that we needed access to. We have access to everything else. So in between episodes here, our furniture store that was over in this area, I think it was, that went under because we only had one truck delivering to it, and it wasn't enough to keep it functioning. So that went out of business. We had another one open up over here, so I went in and added the line to that. And then we have a iron parts thing over here, and I think that was it. I think that's all I did in between episodes. I think I might have added in a few more factories or mines to these things to go ahead and feed the trains because our little manufacturing thing over here wasn't really working all that well. But anyways, what we're going to go ahead and do today, right? We're going to run a train from the copper and from the sand over here today, right? So before we do that, we have to send everything to the depots. I want to go ahead and clear all the tracks and stuff because we're going to redo everything today. Okay, so with everything gone off the map here, we're going to go ahead and remove this. We're going to replace that in a second, but let's back this up a little bit. We need that to go away, please. Thank you. Clear this out a little bit as well so we can make some room. We're going to go ahead and place down the biggest depot we can place right now, right? So we kind of future-proof it so that we don't need to keep changing this thing out in the future here. And this is the biggest depot we have available to us, an 8-track, 821-foot long station. So we're going to go ahead and plop it here. We're going to have 2 tracks on the inside there, and then the rest of them are going to be on the outside here. And for right now, we'll leave that be, right? We're going to have to run all these tracks again. So I'm going to back all of these up to probably about here. And then we're going to relay these. I'm kind of going to go for a loop design here because I don't want to have them going back and forth on the same track. That's going to lead to only being able to run one train on it unless we want to double track everything and do that like that. So for right now, we'll do that. That's going to open up this area. We're going to back all these buildings up and have them in line with this. But before we do that, let's go ahead and put down some track. Let's go to here, right? We'll go to that line there on all of these tracks so that we have a little bit of a lead up so that we can lay down the junctions and stuff so that the trains are hopefully running smoothly. Okay, and with those things laid down, we're going to have 2 inbound lanes and 2 outbound lanes, and hopefully that's enough to go ahead and keep things running smooth. So we'll do this, right? Oop, I didn't want to close this rail, so we'll do that as well, and then we'll have these guys branch into the track here, and keep closing the track. I don't want to keep doing that. We will do that one there as well, and then hopefully this guy can do that. That's going to be nice, and do these ones as well. This one's acting a little weird. There we go. And this guy can go ahead and connect in too. So that way we have 2 inbound lanes coming in, dropping off stuff, and then they're going to leave outbound on this side as well. So this guy can go out to there for right now. That'd be fine. And then this guy as well. And then these guys can go ahead and connect in just like they connect in on the other side. And that should be that, I believe, right? And then we're going to have to run the track in a way that allows them to loop back around. I'm hoping this works and we don't have a crash here in a second. So that should work, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and scooch all these back to be right on the border of the station here to go ahead and utilize as much space as we can. So with the stones over here, right, we were already making the stone bricks, right? So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to also enable the ability to make the gravel, I believe it is. And what we'll go ahead and do, right, is we will go ahead and have a conveyor going sideways. Oops, I didn't want to close the conveyor. And then we'll have another one going sideways. We'll probably end up shortening this in a second, but we can go ahead and plop down some crushers here, right? We'll go ahead and plop one there and then another one here, and that way we'll have 2 making gravel and 2 making the bricks. I think that might be a little much for what we need right now, but that should kind of hold us over at least. So we can go ahead and connect the conveyors in, and with them all connected in, the conveyors are smart enough to know to go ahead and split the outbound stones into these guys. So with those things going, we're going to go ahead and plop down some warehouses here to go ahead and store the product here. So we will go ahead and do, I think there should be fine, and then another one here. If I could, that should be fine, right? This guy can be gravel, this guy can be the bricks, and then we have these guys done pretty much. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the iron line real quick. We're going to have some belts running underground to go ahead and avoid having to do the raised up stuff here. it should be a little bit more eye-pleasing, I suppose, here in a second. And with the iron line up here, we also have a new recipe in the smelter as well. So we can also make steel now because we have that research. So we will need a conveyor on this side, right, giving us coal again. And then we're also going to need it meeting up with the iron coming out of this. We need iron bars, and then we can have that going into another set of smelters, I believe. And I think we'll go ahead and do 3 of them again. I don't know if we're going to need that much steel, but at least we have steel getting produced if we do. So the coal can go ahead and go into, we'll have it go into the sidelines here, and then we'll have the iron going into the back lines here. So we don't have to run anything underground, thankfully. So we can just go ahead and do this and connect these guys in. That's a pretty simple line. And then I guess we do kind of need things going underground because we're going to need the exit of these guys coming out. So we will do that and then have the rest of this line here going underground. So we can do it by 2 so that we're underground, and then that should be that. And if we go all the way across here and run it in the same level underground bit, that should be that. And then if we do this, we need to go ahead and dig out the ground here because the thingy's a little janky trying to do this. So that should be that. And then we need to go ahead and plop a conveyor here so we can actually delete this without deleting the building. And then we should be able to go ahead and plop a conveyor off of that one there. And there we go. So we can go ahead and connect into that. And actually that's not the right one. Dang it. Okay, so we actually had to back up the line here and then redo it like that. That should work. And then hopefully we should be able to go ahead and do this one pretty easily. So we just go out to -2 and then stop 1 before we have to actually get there. And then if we go ahead and dig down, we should see the tunnel entrance. And we should be able to just run a conveyor from the tunnel up to the thing. There we go. And that makes the whole thing a lot easier and hides a little bit of the beltage, so we're not having to deal with it. And then the steel can go ahead and terminate into a warehouse for right now. I don't have any use of it, so we're just going to build a backlog for right now. So we can also place down our presses again, and we also have 2 recipes in this now, so we can go ahead and just plop down 2 of them for right now. I don't think we need more than this. We don't really have a huge supply or demand for these, so we're going to make one making iron plates, and then we're going to make one making the parts again. Okay, so that's everything that we had down to begin with the added in gravel and steel, but also we went ahead and researched into the sand production. I believe we can make glass now. So if we go ahead and plop one of these down for right now, we can see the recipes. So we need 2 of these down to be making the glass panes and then glass tubes, and both of those need sand and coal. So we can go ahead and add them into this area here because this is still within range of the depot. We have a little bit of wiggle room here. We can just run a conveyor from the coal thing over to here and then have a sand garage over in this area. And we will place it somewhere right here, I think, because that's going to give us the most room to wiggle with. So let's place it there. Make this guy sand. And then we are going to need to move this guy around. Oops, I didn't delete it. There we go. And I think for right now, we will just do 1 and 1. Right? Because we have 2 recipes in this thing. We'll do 1 glass pane, 1 glass tube. So I think I'll go ahead and place them like right here. Yeah, no, we'll place them right there. And that way we can run the sand out of this guy, hopefully, and connect into these. So sand going into you and you. And then we can flip these conveyors so that it's actually inputting. So that's going to be extracting sand. We can make one of these be the pane, one of these be the tube. And then we are going to need to run the coal line underground. Actually, you know what? Can we actually piggyback off of this guy here to save us having to run a new line off of the garage there? It does look like we can. We run it to here, dig down a little bit, right? And then if we have it come back up here, I think we can make this work, right? We need a conveyor here to go ahead and be able to delete this thing without deleting the building again, right? There we go. And we might be able to go ahead and do this. Is it going to put a tunnel? It is going to put a tunnel, so that's good. And then we have this guy terminate there, right underneath this other one. We can clear out a little bit of the land here. We need a conveyor so we can do that. And hopefully we can run a conveyor over Actually, we need to run the bottom one first, I guess. Let's drop that down by 2. So it connects into this guy. Oops, not 3. And then can we connect this guy in, or is this going to not work? That's not going to work. So what if we run the tunnel a little bit further out so we actually can connect to the one above, right? We're going to need to put the ground back and then run the belt again, and hopefully we can connect into it how I'm thinking we can. Let's delete the tunnel, and then when we rerun it, we can go ahead and connect right into this guy here, so that should be fine. Let's go ahead and raise it up a little bit so it's connecting in. Then we need this guy to go ahead and pull out of this place if we can get it to do so. It is coming out of there, but it's not actually giving us like a hole in the tunnel here, so I don't think it's actually going to do that. Okay, so this should work, right? We pulled it back a little bit and leveled it out to be in the same type of tunnel going into this, so then we should be able to go ahead and pull this guy out of the ground and loop it around. We might be able to do that. Nah, we might not be able to do that a little tighter, but that should go ahead and feed the coal into these two buildings, and then those two should be getting the sand, and then we can just have these guys terminate into warehouses again. So let's go ahead and plop this open and see where we go ahead and plop these guys down. Let's do it there. Oops, I didn't hold shift. Let's do that one there as well. And then glass tube and the glass pane. Go ahead and conveyor these guys into those. And then I just gotta swap the conveyors around until everything is going the right way. And I think that's it, right? We're good there. So now we have the sand coming in. We can also set up a copper line, but we don't have any recipes yet because we haven't researched any copper. So for right now, I think we'll plop the copper on this side of the map, or this side of the depot. We can go ahead and just plop it here for right now. We'll try and line it up with the logs across the way here so that we can have that go. Oop, that's iron. That's not what I want there. I wanted copper. Copper, there we go. So now that we have all of the buildings and stuff back down, all of the products being produced that we are going to need, a couple of these will just be getting stored because we don't have a use for them right now. But let's go ahead and actually run the lines like we were going to do today. We are already like an hour and an hour 45 into this. So let me go ahead and get cracking on the tracks here. So first things first here, we're gonna go ahead and remove all of our little mines on the iron here. Remove the depot as well. And we can go ahead and just remove all of the tracking as well because I don't think any of this is going to stay. That's gone. And then while we're here, we can go ahead and relay the mines. I don't know if there's a tier 2 mine or not, but for right now, we got these guys and that's what we'll stick with. So we're going to try and cram as many of these in, covering as much of the iron that we can see. I don't know if that's going to matter or not, but we're going to go ahead and try that. So that covers everything. So that covers everything. And for right now, I guess we'll only be able to squeeze 4 of them in here, but that's going to be enough to hopefully feed our line. We only have 138,000 left in this deposit anyways, so we're going to have to move eventually. So let's go ahead and plop down another train depot. We're going to make this one as long as we can make it, but we're only going to need 1 track on it, so we're not going to do the double up or the eight thing that we have down here. And we can place it down this way because that is still within range of all of those mines. So we'll place it here, and we will also go ahead and plop down 1, maybe, yeah, we'll plop down 2 warehouses right now if we're able to actually hit all of these buildings. So we'll plop that one there, and that way we at least build a backlog of iron because we're going to have 2 trains running on this line, and hopefully these guys are running fast enough to fill these 2 garages. Hopefully that's the idea here. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing over here with the logs, and we're going to do this with all of our stuff here. So let's get rid of these. I don't want to destroy the depots because our trains are in there and I don't want to have to replace those, but we can go ahead and get rid of all of the logs here. We're going to replace those here in a second as well. So we can go ahead and do the mining facility sawmill, and it also looks like we only have 100,000 of these things left here, so that's not fantastic for us. The radius for this thing, it looks like this might be the cutoff. I'm not too sure, but it looks like we might just go ahead and just do 4 of them here as well, just to keep things in unison here and not have more than we need, I guess. So that's that. We can go ahead and plop down another depot, and we will have this one going north south, so something like that. And then we can also, we're gonna have it coming on this side, which the depots are kind of in the way. Well, guess we're buying all of our trains again because I need those to be out of the way, and I couldn't sell the depot without selling the trains, and I couldn't move the trains without I guess running them on the line again. I don't know what was going on there, but we can go ahead and place this guy here. This is going to be well within range of those things, and I want it to be level, so that should be fine. And we can also do the same thing here with the warehouses. Whether or not they get full is not my concern, but for right now, we can go ahead and do this is within range. So let's do that, and that's not within range, so we have to back it up. Let's go ahead and do that one with this one as well so that they are in line with each other. So that can go that way. You're going to be logs, you're going to be logs, and that should be that line. Then we're going to go ahead and go up north here. We have our copper line down, so let's go ahead and throw some copper mines on this, and we'll do another 4 here. Let's move it like that, and that should be well within range of all the things. Again, I don't know if that's actually how this works. I think it's just within range of these things, and it should pull. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I guess we'll see when we eventually have it fully utilized, I guess. We'll have this depot running sideways, and that's within range of all of them. Let's have the ending there. Should work. We can go ahead and plop some more warehouses down to go ahead and hopefully pick up all of the items here. So that's within range. That's within range. Copper on you. And then we will go ahead and run the lines down, right, from here. So this is going to be the outbound line. Inbound line, outbound line, one or the other. This is going to be, we're going to try and make it a one-way area. So this is going to go to there, and then it looks like we have to go over this lake. Can we bridge it? Is it going to let us bridge it? It is going to let us bridge. So that's good. I don't want it going up at all. Stay level. Can we go over the road? We can't. So let's go there, and then we'll tunnel it, I suppose, so we don't have to. Actually, there we go. That should work fine, and then we can go ahead and level it back out. We got a little wiggle road there on the track, but that should be fine. And then we can go ahead and carry the track on through. I don't want it to be doing that it's doing there. Let's have it go level and then tunnel. Did I hit T? Yeah, I hit T. So that should take it all the way through there. Let's have it level out, and then we can have it go there. We can go ahead and level out that area a little bit and have the track get brought in from here-ish. That should be fine, right? So then this guy is our main track here. I don't want this to keep doing that, so let's go ahead and level out the area so it stops that, and we can go ahead and just drag it down a little bit. So that should be that, and then we need our iron line getting connected in, so that actually is going to be a little weird because we need it to meet up here. Now that I'm thinking about it, we can have another, actually we'll just take it off of this one, and then hopefully we can go ahead and line up with this, not completely without hitting the buildings we have down. So it's a little bit of a wiggle, but that should be fine. If I could just have you connect into the depot, that would be fantastic. There we go. We had to remove that entire thing of track and then just wiggle it over one. It would not line up. That's weird. Anyways, that's going to be that line, right? And then we need another one coming out of this and hopefully meeting up with the other track there. So we'll have it come out to there and then start turning, and we'll hopefully have it go all the way to the point where it can reconnect in with the rest of that track so that we're not doubling up on it. And that should be that. And then this is going to be the outbound lane going into, we're going to need to flatten more area. This is going to get very pricey here. We need it to meet up with one of these lanes, right? So this one will come back out, and then we will have it go and meet in with that one, but we're going to level out the floor here so it's not just going up for 2 seconds and then coming back down, because that's not going to do us any favors. So let's get rid of this. We just spent a lot of money on that. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So let's connect this in now, and we should be able to go ahead and do that, right? Do that, and then I want it to connect in like a good track, please. There we go. So that's in there, and then this one can connect into this line somewhere. So we can run this a little further down the line, and then we can cut across, and this should go ahead and just mesh into this line kind of okay. So let's clear this chunk of land, and we should, there we go. So that's connected in, and then that's that line done as well. And what is this line? This is the copper line, the main line. Okay, that can terminate into this corner here if we go ahead and level out a bit of land again and have it go a little further, so we can go ahead and connect into this with as little of the raising and lowering of the track as we can. So that should be that, and then we can go ahead and connect this guy in now, so that goes there, and then it can't make that build. Let's back up the land then, because that's probably what's causing the issue. Let's do that. Yep, there we go. So that's connected in. And then before we get too far into this and run out of money, let's go ahead and replace our depot. So let's level out a little bit more of this place. That should be fine. And let's go ahead and do this. So we will have a depot. We'll use the tier 2 depot, we'll plop it here. That should be fine, right? And then we need a rail coming into it, so hopefully this works. That works, cool. And then we need one going outbound, and hopefully that's gonna work out nicely, right? And we'll have it going that way into the depot, out of the depot. That should be fine. We're going to have to plop down a whole lot of signals in a second, but we should be fine. And then we are also going to go ahead and buy this area if we can. 1.8 million. That's going to be a little pricey. And we also have to buy this area, right? Another 1.9. So that's we got 3 million to play with once we're done purchasing these two areas. And the reason we just did that is because we need the land to be able to run the train, because we were right up against the border of this thing. We also have to buy one of these, but I don't think we have the money for that right now. How much are you? 1.8 and 2.3. Oof. But anyways, before we do that, we need to go ahead and remove the coal depot. We need to remove all of the coal mines and rearrange those. So we can go ahead and do that. Here we go. Nope, that's the wrong screen. Coal mine, thank you. And these ones are pretty small, so we can go ahead and also squeeze in 4 of these. So that should be fine. And then we need to place our depot in a way that makes sense, because now we have the exit here. So we are going to delete this guy and pull the road back up the thing there, and we'll go ahead and plop it right here. That's within range of the coal, so hopefully that works. And then again, we'll go ahead and plop down some warehouses to go ahead and hopefully build a little bit of a backlog, is the only reason I'm placing these. And we'll place it there and there, and then we can have the exit line coming through, hopefully, if we can actually make the distance here. So is it going to actually let us do this? It is going to let us do that. Okay, so we can have that go there. That's the inbound line. And then this one's going to have to hook a turn and go meet up with the line that we just dragged out of the iron area. Something like that should work. And that should go ahead and have it loop back around. And that way we have everything going in one line. And then we're going to need this connection to go all the way up into the copper area to go ahead and have that loop connected. Okay, so there we go. We have the line going all the way around. We have a little bridge going over the water again, and then it loops all the way back around and into the depot. So that's the entire loop for the most part done, right? We don't have the stone area down here connected in. That's going to be a little while longer. I think we will just go ahead and have that line continue being a two-way track so that we don't have to buy these areas right now, because that's going to be pricey. But we can also connect in our sand line, right? Because we don't have that connected in yet. So we can go ahead and do that over here. We have 1.4 to play with. Actually, you know what? We'll hold off on that then, because we only have 1.4 to play with, and we have to buy all of our trains again and lay down the signaling right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we have the depot starting here, right, we can have one signal here to signify going in, one signal to signify coming in, and then we can have that go there and that go there. And then from here on out, we can have signals there, right? One signal there, and then we can enable the multiple mode here. And then from this guy, we can have it spaced. What are our depots? 827 feet or 800 and something feet, right? So what is the max on this? Oh, it keeps going. Okay, so we need to actually see what our depots are. 821 feet. Okay, so we can space out our signals 821 feet. There we go. So from you, let me zoom out here so I can actually see if they're actually getting put down. So that is getting put down, but it stops because we have a junction there. And then from here we can go and it does it again up until the junction. So that should work. And then we need one on each of these junctions so that it opens up the track again. So what if we go and plop one? We need waypoints down too, actually, before we even do that, so that we don't have an issue with the trains here. So we can plop them there, there, and we'll just do that across the board if we're able to. Cool, we were. And then we can put a signal in front of each of these so that we can know when the train is in the depot, hopefully. And then that should work, right? We don't need more signals here, so that should be fine. And then coming out of the depot here, we can go ahead and plop signals here. Ooh, you know what? We'll back that signal up just so it's in line with the rest of these, and something like that. Okay, and then we can have the inbound train for this guy. We need another waypoint here. We might not be able to put it right on the thing. Yeah, we're not able to put it right on the thing. And we can't put one at an angle either. Why can't we put one at an angle? You know what? We might not need a waypoint on that since there's only one train that should be taking that route anyways. And if they don't have the depot or the delivery place as a selection, they shouldn't be taking that track anyway. So we should be fine. We can just go ahead and plop down signaling. So we can have one. Let's have one go. I don't want them blocking the train thing. So let's do that. And then we can have another one go here for right now. And then we can re-enable the multi-placing thing, and then that should place them every 821 feet. So we have one there, there, and it keeps going until there's a junction, which isn't until the very end of the line when we enter back into the depot. So yeah, that's the entire line done. I love the multi-place thing. That is going to speed up the tracks here so fast here. Then we can go ahead and place one here. That's going to open up the tracks for this guy, right? All the way up until the end of the depot. And then this guy is going that way as well. We can do that. That's going to open up that area. And then we can place this here. I don't think we need the signal right at the beginning of the junction, but it's fine. We can get rid of this one. Definitely don't need that one there. And we'll get rid of this one as well because I don't think we need that one there either. And that should be that thing set up. We can go ahead and plop one here and plop another one there. And then we need junctions coming in, or signals coming in rather, not junctions. We need one there, and we can go ahead and turn on the multi thing right here at the junction. So that should be fine. It goes all the way to the thing. Did it just delete the one that I put here? Anyways, maybe I didn't put one there. We're going to plop one on this side here. So we're going to go back to the copper mine, right? So we just have to click it once and this should work, right? So we just need that one there. And then there should be one spaced out every 800 feet. And it looks like we are good. Actually, it looks like it stops. Is there one in the tunnel here? There is one back there. Let's plop one here, and then that should be good. So now we can go ahead and redo the lines because we need to go ahead and set all the lines back in motion, and then we should see this flow in here in just a second. Okay, so I had to take out the $1.9 million loan to go ahead and set the trains back in motion, and that's not even with the same amount of carts that we had on there before. So these are going to be running at less capacity than they were running a second ago before we deleted the depot to go and squeeze the tracks in. But we're also going to have to go ahead and see if we can make this $400,000 connect into these guys. So we need to go ahead and put down the freight stations again. And for right now, I think what we'll end up having to do is kind of just not have as many as we had down a second ago. I think we had 5 down. If we can actually place the road here, that'd be fantastic. Let's get this going here. So that's going to get us across all of these. And then we can go ahead and place our depots off of that. So we need it on this side of the road to go ahead and get the logs. So that guy can hang out there. And what is this actually getting? I should have paid attention. That's getting all the stone, all the wood stuff. Okay, so then we can place down a secondary freight station and hopefully get all of this stuff. We're missing the iron ore, and if we scoot it down a little bit, we get the iron ore. So this is going to get the rest of the stuff. So we're only going to have 2 stations down right now. We will arrange this to have more stations later because we don't have the money to do it right now. So we have to kind of be a little picky on how we go about doing this. So we then need this to go ahead and cross over the street. Can we make a bridge tall enough to go over the tracks. Okay, well, we needed a bridge and we got a bridge, so we are good there. And then hopefully we have enough money to do that. Cool. Let's delete that. The roads are going to be like that for right now. We'll leave this thing alone for the time being. And then we just need to go ahead and rearrange the lines because we still have all the cars. They're just in the depot here. So I just need to go ahead and rearrange the signals and stuff going to the right stations. And then we should be up and running here again in just a second. Okay, well, moment of truth. This should work. And I guess we're going to have to see if our trains are going to go to where they need to go. And hopefully they don't crash because we don't have the money to replace these. Let's repay as much of the loan as we can. So we have a little bit of spending cash. And the trains are going out. So that's a good sign. And they seem to not need the ignore sign thingy, so they should be fine. I hope they all go the right way and they don't try to double back because that'll be very bad for us. And it looks like we can actually squeeze a signal in here, so let's go ahead and do that because there's not a signal here. So let's do, can we put one here? No, we have to put it there, and that should be fine. And then let's see, that's the iron train, the coal train right behind it. Already I'm realizing that the log train went down the wrong line because it should be here on the very first line, not that line. So that's not good. I hope it doesn't do that again. The secondary line is going in the wrong line again. Coal line might not matter because it's not going down the line either. It's going to the right place though, so that's good. And these guys are going to loop all the way around. You know what I should have done, because that's going to lead to some really annoying delays. Let's do this. If we're able to, can we make that turn? I don't think we can. Let's do that to, oh, you know what? We don't have money. That's what's happening. There we go. So now I hope I didn't just break this by doing that, but we can go ahead and place a signal here, a signal there, and that should be good. So hopefully on the next time around, the log train and the iron train don't do that loop because they're going all the way up to the copper up here. So yeah, they're right there. They're gonna be gone for a few minutes, and that's not gonna be great for us. Let's go ahead and pay off some loan. And what I also realized is the stone line, the entire stone line is gonna probably go bankrupt here. These places are probably gonna close down because we don't have stuff coming out. So that might be a bit of an issue. But anyways, I guess we can see whether or not the coal line is gonna go down the correct track. So it should be going down, I think, the third track here. It is. Okay, so I guess the first initial run, it just went down the center because it was the quickest route to get around, but it went down the right path that time, so we should be good, and you should be dropping everything off. We have 172 wiggle room. I think this only has 136, 138 inventory slot right now, so it's going the right way, and it should go back into there. Cool. Our log train's here. Our iron train is reaching the destination, so the log train should go down line 1, and it is indeed. Okay, so yeah, I think that's what it was. It was just the initial going out of the depot thing, and a couple of these things were set up wrong, so I had to go and flip the conveyors there. But now we are golden, and once the iron comes in, we should start producing some iron ingots and maybe some steel ingots as well, kind of depending. It would, I guess, help if I actually put the conveyors in the right direction, so we're actually making some iron ingots here, because we're not making anything right now. So that needs to go that way, and then everything should be flowing. We're making iron ingots, we're making some steel ingots here in a second. Whenever those things come around, why are these not outputting? Well, for the time being, I seem to have messed this up. I thought the tunnel connected into this tunnel, but it didn't, because I guess you can't have a branching off tunnel. We have a tunnel connecting into nothing, basically, and it's not outputting. So for the time being, we're going to have only one of these running ingots, and we will have to go ahead and disable this because we don't have the money to, or the ability to make the steel that's just going to be sitting here, because we don't have anything delivering that right now. We do have a place that wants it, which is this place up here. That's about to go bankrupt, though, in 45 days. We don't have the money to place down a freight station, and so we don't have the money to also put down any trucks to feed that line anyway, so that's going to have to go bankrupt. We're going to disable the steel production for right now, and hopefully we can get some of the iron stuff out and hopefully start funding ourselves again, because we are losing a lot of money right now. But I think for right now, that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. In between episodes, hopefully we get some cash going for ourselves, and I can go ahead and fix this hiccup here. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing. We seem to have fixed it over here at least. These guys are running. Everybody's getting coal. It's just these guys that aren't getting iron right now. So we have to fix that. But for right now, that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.